Hey, what's up, my friends? It's Unqualified Critics here. I know I've been really quiet for like ever, and it wasn't intentional. It's just I took some time off because, frankly, I didn't have a whole lot to say about home arcades, which, usually the topic we talk about on this channel. And then I got sick to the point of losing my voice. And so if I sound a little weird, it's because I'm still dealing with that. But I mostly feel better. And then it just dragged on, there just wasn't a lot going on. I thought maybe I'd do a video about the Black Friday sales. There just weren't a ton of sales. There's some stuff, and hopefully you guys picked up some of those deals. I want to talk about just a few miscellaneous topics. Number one, and kind of the main thing, probably what I'll use as the hook on this video, my interest in home arcades right now, to be completely honest, is slowing down a little bit. And on one hand, there's some really cool products coming out. We've got X-Men, Simpsons, Tron's dropped, Killer Instincts are being shipped as we speak, I think. There's a lot of good stuff going on, but it just doesn't get me as excited as it used to. Part of that's because of money, and part of that's just personal because I'm dealing with building this house and bought a property for Airbnb that ended up costing more than was budgeted, and a bunch of other things that are just kind of specific to me. So probably not, definitely not your problem. But I wonder, with the rising prices on most stuff, except iiRcade, and let's talk about that too. I wonder if some of you guys are feeling the same way. I just feel like the interest levels have gone down a little bit after years of being max hype about home arcades. Are we to a point where they're just kind of too expensive for all but like the most hype must-have cabinet, and whatever that means for you, and that's different for everyone. But there is a cabinet I got a while ago, which I've loved the heck out of, and that is my Big Buck Hunter cabinet. It has one big design flaw. The marquee is completely flat, it's without any texture, and it's without any lighting. And that is being fixed by the guys at Retro 530. So I did order this. I assume going to be a few weeks before it's here. But take a look at this. The light up marquee. Plus, it's got like a 3D proper cutout. It's not just completely flat and constrained by the dimensions of the cabinet. So I think it looks really cool. I'm super excited about it because I think this is one of the best one-up looking cabinets that's ever been made, and this finally perfects it. So I'm stoked. When it gets here, we'll do a review and let you guys know what's up. It looks like it's out of stock right now, but I'll drop a link. I'm sure he'll be restocking, so check that out. And by the way, this Retro 530 site, they also have backlight kits for the coin doors, and that's something that I knew would happen. I knew it was coming, but I'm glad to see it's here. All right, next up, let's talk about iiRcade. Is iiRcade failing or not? That's been a big topic of just discussion, dissension, argument, and certainly in a lot of my videos, comments lately, I've noticed a lot of you all have strong opinions about this. iiRcade has a ton of fans, but it has a lot of detractors too, and people who think, that they're maybe struggling right now. And evidence, exhibit A for that, is that their cabinets are for sale. But before I get into that, I did want to share with you this news. So this was given to me in advance, but I still wasn't feeling well, so I didn't make that video. But online gameplay is coming. It's not here yet. They're saying Q1 2022 for some titles, and I believe they're bringing this for all two-player or more titles on the platform. So we are going to get online play, which is exciting. But I have to tell you, I turned on my X-Men last night from Arcade One Up to see, am I still getting lag when I play with multiple people, and I couldn't find a single game with people online. So, it's just one of those things. How many people are really playing these titles? I think a lot of people buy these cabinets and then maybe they don't admit it to the world, but don't play it all the time. I mean, I've got a ton of Arcade One-Ups I still haven't hooked up since I moved. It's not because I don't like having them. It's for a variety of reasons. My iiRcade, I've played a little bit, but not a ton. So, I question how populous these lobbies will be, but I am glad they're doing online play. It's exciting to see it happen. So let's talk about iiRcade just real quick, though. Are they struggling? Obviously, I have a relationship with the company. I haven't asked them this. They're not going to disclose sales numbers to me. There's no way. I already know the answer to that question is no. These small private companies, they just don't have any incentive other than, if they really want to announce a successful milestone. And if they want to do that, they're going to do that publicly. They're not going to work through someone like me. So I haven't checked. I have no insider info on this, but here's my perspective. We shouldn't assume for sure, de facto, that they're struggling just because these cabinets are on sale. The thing with iiRcade is it does feel like their big name licensing wins have slowed down, and that would be good evidence that they need to start selling more cabinets to keep the attention of licensors. So that may well be true. So for those of you that think iiRcade is struggling, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying these sales, that ain't it. That's not the guarantee that there's problems. It really isn't. If you buy an arcade 1-up at a loss to the company, then, well, you got a good deal, but that hurt the company. Even the Legends Ultimate, for the most part, I know they have subscriptions you can buy, but for the most part, I imagine the vast bulk of their revenue is hardware sales. But when it comes to iiRcade, it's just not true, because they are going to live and die by these software purchases, these games that are like $4 to $30 or whatever. Are you buying their titles? And they have to sell a lot of cabinets to move enough software, I would imagine, to keep the interest of licensors. I suspect iiRcade is helping kind of lubricate the process a little bit by doing a lot of the work themselves for porting. Again, don't know for sure that that's true, but that's my suspicion, that they have a team of people helping with porting titles. That can be the case for smaller platforms because, the game publisher or the game developer doesn't want to dedicate the money to port it to a new platform that might be smaller, but if they can do that for free at no cost to them and get it on the platform, then they're good to go. iiRcade, though, has to sell enough of these for this to work. There's no doubt about that. But just again, don't assume just because they're cutting some prices. That should be a positive story for the community to be excited. And instead, I just saw a ton of negative comments like, oh man, if they're cutting prices, they sure as heck aren't selling what they want. Yeah, I'm sure they want to sell more cabinets. But whether or not they're in trouble, only they are going to know that. And only the licensors they work with are going to know that. Now, I hope they'll make an announcement soon about next year, about the next phase of their business, whatever that might be. I would love to see a cabinet redesigned with a more traditional arcade look. I'm not a fan of the pedestal with the bar top. Doesn't look like a traditional arcade machine. Obviously, I'm not really a fan of that shape, although I do think they've done good things with some of these decals that they offer. And I think these prices are pretty killer. I mean, $299 for the 64 gigabyte basic version. That is probably the best deal going right now in home arcades if they have any titles you want. So let me know what you think in the comments. Have you bought an iiRcade? Are you excited for them? Is your interest in them waning? Do you think they'll be successful? And what do they need to bring to the table to get to that next level to continue growing? And lastly, I want to point out user Repair Celt on Reddit. He had a really nice photo of Tron with black lights on and showcasing the GRS spinner next to the arcade 1-up spinner. And the 1-up spinner has the blacklight reactive decal, which is a really nice detail, really nice touch. He also has a video of the trigger action on the joystick for Tron. So this is in the less of a win category. It doesn't look very impressive, just a simple press. It doesn't look like there's any kind of click action. Also, I've heard pretty bad things about the stock arcade 1-up spinner for Tron. A lot of people seem to feel like they need to upgrade that. Obviously, there is that GRS spinner out there. There are other spinner products too. So those are options, but when you're paying $700 for 2 games, do you really want to have to repair or replace the controls? I know for me the answer would be no, but look, I didn't get Tron. So for those of you that did buy Tron, let's hear from you in the comments. Do you plan to upgrade the controls? On one hand, 1-up killed it with the appearance of this cabinet, but on the other hand, the controls are not great. And then, of course, the size. This thing is very big, and that's bothering a lot of people because they feel it's a different proportion than the regular arcade 1-ups. The reality in the real arcades, hardware was all different shapes and sizes. This isn't exactly the same thing, I know, because they are just making it taller and not wider. As 19K Fox pointed out recently on a live stream, I thought he had a good discussion there. That's all true. But I don't necessarily feel like I need all of my arcades to exactly match. I'm a little more disturbed that we're not getting common design elements like coin doors, for example. or even like light up marquees in all cases. I mean, I know the legacy cabs are what they are, but the fact that those don't light up, I find kind of lame. So, you know, but I get where people are coming from, because it's like these one-ups are designed by, each one's designed by somebody different. There's just not that common thread among them, so you can have a really cool game room where everything ties together. So let me know what you think about that too. Do you want your arcade one-ups to all fit together, or is it okay that they're different? And are you guys losing interest over here, or maybe it's just me being sick talking, and you know, I just need to get back into the game. I just feel like it's gotten so flippin' expensive, and when I'm looking at Tron for $700 and thinking about the possibility of changing controls, it seems like a lot. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the video, hit the like button. And make sure you're subscribed for more news and reviews on home arcades. I'll talk to you soon.